the Church of Jesus Christ.
Virtually all the attention this year is focused on the presidential election. Because it's on every ballot in the nation, it's the most obvious place for the media to place its attention. But by the design of our founding fathers, America is a representative republic. When we go to the polls, we're not voting for a king or a queen. We're voting for a chief executive, as well as lawmakers, judges, school board members, state governors, mayors, and city council persons. In our form of government, all of these positions are important, and many of them have far more daily impact on your life than the president does. They make or enforce many of the policies we're most directly governed by. That makes them the backbone of a principle that's almost forgotten today, yet is crucial to our survival as a free nation. It's what's come to be called the doctrine of lesser magistrates, and we find it put forth in the political thinking of the Protestant reformers like John Calvin. It says that when rulers become tyrannical, they forfeit their legitimacy. When the ruler contradicts the moral law of God, the ruler needs correction. As the apostles say, we obey God rather than men. At that point, the legitimate governing authorities at a lower level who carry out and enforce policies have a duty to resist and ultimately disobey the leader. That should sound familiar because that Reformation thinking ultimately shows up in America's Declaration of Independence. When the Declaration says of oppressed people that it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security, it's not a product of this secular enlightenment as many now claim. It actually comes directly from the Reformation doctrines like the Lesser Magistrate. In November and every election day, you have the opportunity to vote for the government authorities who are to be the bulwarks against tyranny at the highest levels. You can vote for the governors and mayors and city commissioners who will stand up to a president or a federal agency like the CDC and say, your command is unjust and we're not going to obey it. Christians are not to be vigilantes, taking the law onto ourselves individually and only obeying and disobeying as we see fit. We're to obey those in authority, as Peter writes, but we are following the best Christian and Reformed teaching when we elect into office those lesser magistrates who stop power-mad authorities in Washington. And some of you Christians even need to run for those offices.